All right, everybody, let's go through some more single turns in Game Arena. Let's go. Okay, so our first single turn here, Seven Wonders Duel. We are, is this going to be is this a tournament? Nope. This is just a turn-based game that I started. Okay, well, my opponent can't afford the wood anyways. Okay, 2 extra turns. I could use one of them to take the first turn in the next stage. But I'm already getting the first turn in the next stage because they're winning in military, so maybe I don't need to use my extra turn. And I think that's a good message for everybody. Now, what is better? A discount on brick for the rest of the game, make first brick free and the rest of them cost 1 coin? Or do I want 5 coins? I think I'd be fine with 5 coins, and I can use 1 or 2 of those 5 coins to pay for 1 or 2 bricks I'll need for the rest of the game. And that's how I decide if I'm going to discard it or not. So if I have the reserve for it, I'll usually discard. I'm not trying to make my opponent suffer, and them suffering more in like not being able to produce brick is not going to affect my win in really at all. So it's just my play style. I don't need my opponent to be hurting economically to win. Okay, so now let's go Architects of the West Kingdom. Yeah, I don't even know this game that well at all. We're just gonna skip this one. Just kidding, I'll just make a move. Right now I'm just making moves, so what do I need right now? Probably wood. Yeah, let's go to the forest and get some wood. Right now I have 5 wood, that's great. I have 5 people. I think that was a good turn. I don't know. I'm not doing so hot in this game. I've only built 1 building, I think, at the guild hall. I don't even know how I have 22 points. Yeah, so there's that. Looking at for sale. Okay. Got some good news. My daughter is gaining weight correctly. Very good. Alright, so you must select an action. Got it. You always have actions in this game. So I'm going to, in this game of for sale, I'm going to bid. I don't want to get the 7, because then the next player is going to get the 8 or the 9, and then everybody else will have 19, 27, 30, 28. But I also don't want it to get into a crazy bidding war. This one wouldn't be too bad to just lose half and accept 27. And then the person who bids everything takes 28. So if I bid nothing, just take the 7 because I like sleeping in tents. Sorry I'm like this goes and would they do the same thing or would they bid the 4? I like bidding even numbers so I can just cut it in half and not lose anything. So they've given me the chance to bid 4. So let's say I bid 4 now. What I do there? So sorry I'm like this. Would they bid 5 to try to get the 28? And then somebody else down the line is going to bid 6, 7, 8, whatever, and then I'm going to be able to get a 19 for 2 or a 7 for 0. And I think a 19 for 2 would be good. Best case scenario, I get 27 for 2. But I think somebody else is going to get 27 for 3, and somebody else after them is going to bid 7 or the 28. But that's my guess how this is going to work. Could go any way. Let's move on to the next game. I really love this game. This AppleJack is just so cool. And I think any Seven Wonders dual player could also love this game because I figured out why I love it so much. There's so many similarities with Seven Wonders duel. You have the the known and the unknown of cards in a laid out in front of you, but instead it's the known and unknown of tiles. You have just a bunch of tiles out there that are all known which one you're going to get, because am I the triangle or the circle player? So I'm the circle player. Boom, you see that circle, right? And that means anytime it's a circle, I'm going to get first dibs to to these guys, but I may have choice of one behind it. So right here, I'll have first dibs on this grouping, but I won't have first dibs on these. So good thing to think about here. If I leave one of these here, my opponent is going to take that one. I will be leaving one of them, but which one am I going to leave my opponent? Do I want them to have access to oranges and browns? Do they need oranges and browns? Or do I need something that was passed up? The grouping behind me. And when I say the knowns and unknowns, whenever there's not enough tiles in an area, there's some threshold that they go by, like one tile as a choice. That's not really a choice, and so they fill all of them. They add one extra tile to all of the groups surrounding. So what that does is it allows for some unknowns to pop up. You didn't realize that something would pop up. Somebody triggered the refilling of tiles. So just like in Seven Wonders Duel, you'd have some cards face down, some cards face up, and as you're going through, there's some luck, unfortunately, but there's some luck with what card is going to be face down. And so with any strategy, not just science, like if you just need this point card and it's not there, it's just all the low point cards are being revealed to you, and you're relying on the face down cards, whatever. So in here, everything appears to be face up, but the face down element of it is that refresh of hexagons, and I figured out why I really like this. And without further ado, I think I'm going to check my opponent what they need, but I'm thinking it's generally good to take more apples. So I think I'm going to grab this guy. I need to start working on red though, but I'm not going to work on red with this one. So we will do that. We're going to put this somewhere. It's going to cost us the full 4, and we're going to use it to our advantage and make something over here have a discount of 4. And don't want to put it over here because this area right here already has a discount. This is how we're playing, and I'm sticking to it. So that's what we'll do there. And moving on. But yeah, you gotta try AppleJack. It's a really great game. I think it's my favorite game that I've learned of recently. Yeah. Well, and then Ark Nova comes here. So maybe my favorite game of 2023 um, being AppleJack. I think it came out in 2023, and then Ark Nova was 2022, I believe. So yeah, I really love Ark Nova too. We've reached the point where I've got to discard a final scoring card. Sheesh! My opponent's got 44 points. Yeah, that's gonna be tough to beat. Okay, so I've got to get rid of one of these final scoring cards, and I think large animal versus favorite zoo. I'm gonna get rid of the large animal. Just hope to get my cards upgraded and get all those wonderful goodies. Get to that 15. Yeah, I think I generally like the favorite zoo more, but I tend to do games of building a lot of large animals and waiting to upgrade that dig or that build action until later, and I try to maximize the times that I do use the build to just build plop one big one for the big animals. But now I've upgraded it, it incentivizes me to build a lot of little animals and also build a lot of point giving pavilions and money giving kiosks. And my money has never been this high. 47 money, and we're gonna start hitting a break because my opponent's at 17 money. And I'm gonna get an influx of a 26 more. So kind of overkill with the money. Alrighty. So, what was my thinking I should do here? Yeah, I had a plan. I have 5 of these, so I need to spend a good chunk, I feel. Maybe I should anticipate, look at the cards in my hand. Yeah, might as well build one of those things. I think I'm gonna get the guinea pig, the domestic goat, and try to grab that coconut lorikeet. I know my opponent is probably gonna grab the spotted hyena compound and make the lorikeet come into play for me, or do a break and make the lorikeet come into play. So I could grab it using a dig rather than relying on getting that card upgraded, which I won't be able to do for a while because look at that, I haven't really done much there with these things. Yeah, so makes me wonder, should I do a full big dig action right now, or just do a 5? Yeah, I do want to make a petting zoo so that when I build the animals next, I can build the guinea pigs and the goat. Maybe if the lorikeet's able to be played, that'd be awesome. So yeah, I'm 3 of those 5. If I choose 5, are going to be the petting zoo. What will be the other 2? Maybe the money giver thing right here. Um, maybe put a 1 thing for the lesser bird of paradise. Maybe I want to get this European badger out there for a 2, but I don't want to play out the 2 yet. And am I holding out for a big 5 animal somewhere here? Hmm. Yeah, well, it would be good to get this increase of reputation. Maybe the right move here is to put that'll be easy, just a 3 enclosure and then a 1 enclosure. It may be best to put the zoo up there. Yeah, just so I can utilize my space better rather than having just long lines like that. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do that. Do 1, 2, 3, and then there's a boost for animals. So after I play this animal, I could play it again. Yeah, I could play a bunch of animals and get the double animal effect with that. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do 3, a 1, and a 2. That's just gonna require 6. And yeah, I think we could knock that off. Do that. So maybe we'll even do 7. Maybe. Or 8. Could do 8. I want to save up some for this association action that I'm gonna do. I have 2 workers. I want to be able to do 2 things. I want to be able to spend a 4 and spend a. I don't really have any objectives that I can complete yet. I'm gonna have to do the species diversity of 4. I already have 4 though. 1, 2, 3. About to have a 4th with the European badger. So I'm gonna save up for that. Maybe just less is better. Stick with the 7. Restart turn. The 6. I'm gonna do 6. A lot of thinking in this. Alright, and we're already 14 minutes in. Apologies. But I like to think a lot in this Ark Nova game. That's why I tend to play turn-based. All right, so we're doing that. And then we're doing this one. And we're going to do this one right here. Our badger there. Okay. And so we'll boost the animals, and then we'll get the guinea pig and the domestic goat out there. And if the lorikeet comes into play, that would be amazing. But here's where my opponent just takes the lorikeet. That'd be the smart move. So, dang it. Don't do it, please. Well, it serves me right for not having higher appeal, so that I could have just taken the lorikeet right there. Is that appeal or no? That's reputation. Yeah. Serves me right. Okay. Let's move on. Ark Nova, amazing game. You see the brain burniness of it. I just love it. All right, moving on to Stone Age. Stone Age stuff. I'm sitting at 29 points, but don't be fooled. I'm going to lose this one because I only have a 2 multiplier for what? Merchant trade, and then 2 multiplier for shamans. I have a 9 for building buildings, but how many buildings have I actually built? Only 4 buildings. So I need to build a lot of buildings to really maximize that. It's like 36 points extra there for that. That's not good enough. So for the rest of the game, I'm going to need to focus on building buildings. And what would I need for some of these buildings right here? So I'm going to need some stone. I don't have stone. I have 1 single brick and a bunch of wood. I also have tools. So let's just, I think the right answer is stone here. If we're trying to build stuff at a low cost, you can place people here to produce wood in the future. Oh my gosh, that's great. Okay. Each person gives you 1 die. The sum of the dice is divided by 2 for the wood that you get. That's a really cool wood camp ability. Yeah, why didn't they make more buildings like that in the base game? All the buildings in the base game are boring as heck. Okay, so we're going to try to get at least one. I have no food, so I'm going to need to save my people. I have 6 people left if I do this action. Sure, 3 people on stone, and that's what we'll hope to get. Let's get some stone. But yeah, everybody else has different multipliers that they're doing. I'm doing a builder's strategy, and I tend to like to do a builder's strategy with Stone Age. So we'll just hope that that goes all right there. Okay, so a couple things with the Pantheon expansion. Generally, you wouldn't want, like normal game, base game, you wouldn't want to reveal cards, but there are 2 reasons to reveal cards in this scenario. One is that I don't want to take either of these cards, because then my opponent is going to take the other card and then get that mythological token, which will let them take a look at the Egyptian gods, and one of those gods is Ra, which is head and shoulders above the rest of the gods. So I don't want them to have a say on where in the Pantheon Ra will go. That's reason 1 why I'm going to reveal a card for this move. Reason 2 is that you in the base game you don't get this, but you get to, like I said, choose which god you want to reveal. So now I have a little bit of power of choice, and as you have more choices in any board game, you're going to get more. You could generally choose between the choices based on their strategic advantage for you, and there's 2 choices here. I can try to maximize the strategic advantage of going a science route with this the Mesopotamian gods, or I can just go to the safe option and get some money. Yeah, I think. Let's look. My opponent had Circus Maximus, so I'm definitely not spending 1 coin on glass. I don't like to spend coins anyways in this age. But I also don't like to reveal 2 cards to my opponent. Then they take the best one and I take a weak sauce one. Perhaps the right move would be to do this one first, and then do this one, and hope a good card is right here. Well, it could be me, you, me, you, me, and then that gets me Tavern. And I'm always trying to grab Tavern in the Pantheon expansion, so we'll do that. And let's see what we reveal for Mesopotamian gods and what we reveal for those face down cards. So first things first. All right, so didn't get Anki. And there's the whole trick with Anki. You can, if theology is not there or strategy is not there, you can put Anki close to yourself and cross your fingers that you get one of those great ones. And Law is already out there too, so Anki wouldn't have been that great. But yeah, that triple threat, the theology, law, and strategy, this is very important to have good science in this game. My opponent maybe takes a science card to try to maximize that, and then I can use Nisaba to copy their science card. I think the right answer is going to be Nisaba close to myself. Yeah. Which means I'm giving them a yellow card close to them, because you don't want to have a bunch of cards close to yourself. That's a no-no, because you want the gate close to yourself, or at least in the middle. You do not want the gate to be over here, costing your opponent only 6 coins to activate the gate. I'm thinking Nisaba can go here, and if my opponent is going to end up revealing this, no, I'll end up revealing that. Okay, cool. So I'll be able to put a start date wherever I want. Yeah, worst case scenario, they end up revealing this and they put a start date close to me, in my opinion, weakest of the Phoenician gods. And it just gives 7 coins. And I guess 7 points if you don't spend those coins. Yeah, I think it might be best to put Nisaba here. Worst case scenario, my opponent puts Astarte right here, and then I can spend 3 coins for 7 coins. But not as great as putting Ra right there. Also, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I started the game. Yeah, Michael selected Wonder. Divine Theater in the beginning. So since I started the game, I have a little bit more of an advantage to grab Raw. But what am I saying? Also, there's my advantage to get Raw. So this is going to be a fairly okay game. Alright, we're looking at Wingspan and Try White. Such a great player. They're sitting at 86 points, and I'm having a playful banter with them in the talking. So they've said you know, like King of the Pink Birds. Yeah, I played 4 Pink Birds, and then I made a joke. It said like, yeah, it's my goal card for the Pink Birds, which we all know there's no such goal card. Just messing around, having some fun, and then I realized that if they keep doing egg actions, they're going to just win the game because they're consistently getting 4 points each turn rather than grab some food, then lay down a 4 point bird. They're just constantly getting 4 points for eggs. And so I told them, just stop laying eggs because every time they lay eggs, they do give me some points. 2 points, actually. Um, and they said, okay, I'll play some birds. And instead of playing out a 4 or 5 point bird, they played out like a 7 and an 8 point bird. So I was like, dang it. I can't win here. So, yeah. Um, the end of round goal, I feel like I'll tie with. And I'm good with that. Brewer's Blackbird, I feel like is only really good in the end game, and we are at the end game. So let's do this. Let's lay some eggs, and I'm gonna just not put any on Brewer's Blackbird. Not put any on the Kingfisher because it's a wild nest. My placement of eggs is gonna be everything but those two. And maybe avoid bull nests, but it doesn't matter too much. And now I can discard a food to get a 5th egg now that I have the Brewer's Blackbird out there. Now I'm going to tuck a card from my hand. Well, no use in having this card anymore. And, okay. And then that is why I didn't put any eggs on the Brewer's Blackbird. The Purple Martin and the common Yellowthroat were the only ones giving me my end of round objective. So only 4 points for such a powerful objective. I really love the food web expert because there's some powerful birds that only use the green worms. But anyways, so we're gonna take this great blue heron, then we're gonna just draw from the deck. Okay, so that gave me another point. Doesn't really matter what I draw there. And now I can lay an egg on another bird. So that's a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-point turn. Unfortunately, my hawk can't grab food because, yeah. And I'm not going to use the crow. Crow, you served your purpose, but yeah, no need to lose points for food at the end of the game. I've got one more turn. I'm going to utilize that last food not to get a 5-point osprey, but to get an extra point with this egg action that's already going to guarantee another 9-point. If somebody takes some food, that'd be great. I might get a 10-point turn, but not going to really happen. So there, I'm sitting at 67 points. 9 points for the last 2 turns. It's 18 points guaranteed. And 4 more points for the round end objective if I get second place. Or tied for second place, a 3-way tie maybe. Well, I don't even know the math on that one. I think it's going to be 7 plus 4. It's going to be 11, and then divided by 2 if it's 2 people. So that'd be a 5-point end of round, and then I'll have a 4-point food web expert. Yeah, I won't be able to even reach 86 points, and my opponent still has 2 more turns, so they're going to be well ahead of 100 points, which I've done 100-point games before, and I feel like I'm pretty confident I can always get around 80 points, at least. 80 is my minimum for Wingspan, so yeah, I think if my opponent's going to get 100, then I need to have an equally lucky start. And my opponent had a very cool strategy of not putting anything in the water. Looking back at this game with Sorry I'm Like This and from No Wonders channel, check them out. And did they increase their points at all? What did they just do? Cards, and they probably took my birdie. They didn't take the birdie. Oh, that's wonderful. I can take the lorikeet. Okay, they also didn't take the spotted hyena. Fortunately. Okay, so let's play the animals. And I think the right answer would be to first play this guy right here. European badger. Okay. And then play the lesser bird of paradise right there. It's unfortunate that you can't build multiple petting zoos. You can only build one in the entire time. But I feel like that would be insanely powerful.